Welcome to Chuck's Guitar Geekery. Today I'm checking out this amp that I honestly got as an impulse purchase earlier this week. Do I need another Peavey and the wall of Peavey behind me? Probably not, but I don't know. I actually got a root canal a couple days ago, and put me in a part of town I'm not usually in, but that part of town has a pawn shop in it, and while my mouth was still numbed up, I said, hey, let me swing into this pawn shop. And this little amp was crying to me like a puppy in a pet store window, saying, take me home, take me home, take me home. I couldn't say no. Here we are. My impulses got the better of me. But anyways, this is a Rage Transtube 258 EFX. Now this is part of the Red Stripe era, which that leads me to believe it's from like the early parts of the 2000s. And there's a couple different Red Stripe eras when it comes to Peavey. There was a Red Stripe that was made in the US for a little while, but then it was during the Red Stripe that they started shipping their manufacturing of amps overseas to China. So this is a Chinese-made one. It's got an 8-inch Blue Marble speaker in it. It's got reverb, it's got delay, and it's also got a pretty nice selection of effects. I mean, yeah, they're not the best sounding effects, but what can you do? And the reverb is a digital reverb. It's a plate style from what I can hear with my ears. Yeah. Let's just dig into it. I don't know really what else to say about it. It's got 2 channels. There is an option for a foot switch, but this was an era of Peavey where they have like these weird like 16-pin connection foot switches, so you can't just put a generic foot switch on this. Debating whether or not I want to go find a used one somewhere, but that'll allow you to switch channels, turn the delay reverb on and off, and also turn the effects on and off. I don't know, that's for another day, but starting on the clean channel, the EQ is shared between the clean and the dirty channel. They call it the lead channel. And it's got a modern and a vintage mode. I did that whole intro part on the vintage mode there. Amp's mic'd up with a Sennheiser E609, little off center, about 1.5 inches away from the grill cloth. So let's just jump into it. I'm going to start on the clean channel. I've switched it back to the modern setting, which has a little more bottom end to it and a little less high end. So let's see how that sounds. So a big part of the reason I'm using this guitar is my Epiphone. It's an old Korean made one, but it's got coil tapping in it. So let's see what this sounds like with a single coil in the neck. Let's compare vintage and modern mode on the clean channel. Okay, so quite frankly, I'm not too big of a fan of this clean channel. I don't know, it kind of reminds me on like old Fenders where like half the amp would have like a bright cap on it. And the clean channel does not take pedals well. I've tried. I'm not going to have pedals as part of this demo. But the clean channel really just is harsh when it comes to pedals. Like I said, it reminds me of those old Fenders that would have a bright cap in it. So let's switch channels here. Okay, so now I've switched over to the lead channel, and I have the EQ voicing set to vintage. Let's see how that sounds. Over to modern. Okay, sorry I had a little camera malfunction there. I'll try to pick up where I was. So, anyways, I've upped the gain a little bit, still in the modern setting with a little bit of treble added in. So let's see how that sounds. One thing I tried to demonstrate there is it actually cleans up pretty well with your guitar's controls. So honestly, now that I have this, I probably am never going to use a clean channel, if I'm going to be honest. Yes, I used it at the beginning there just to have some like heavy chorus EFX, and it recorded okay, but in the room, the clean channel really isn't for me. I'd rather just set the gain where it is and use my guitar's volume controls. But let's go over to the effects side of it. I'm going to turn the gain down a little bit. And there's actually, you can tap tempo it, so you can get real fast, get it real. Okay, so this section of the delay is they call the echo. So I slowed the tap tempo down. Then within the delay, you kind of turn it through 3 different lights there. Increases the level and the amount of decay. Let's kind of see how long the tap tempo can go. I'll just kind of tap it as slow as I can and see what that does. This last section on the delay button, you can't really see it because of the camera angle here, but they call it infinite, so let's see what that does. There's 2 notches on that. Play, and then the reverb, let's just see how high the reverb goes. then this is completely dry, and there's another version of the Rage trans tube here that's 158 that doesn't have any effects in it. So let's just see what it sounds like in case you got a 158. A little bit of reverb goes a long ways when it comes to small amps like this, as far as making them sound bigger. So now let's go to all these effects here. So they're kind of all listed here. They have lights, so let's turn up a little bit. Sorry, I'm going backwards here. So let's start, so you can push through. So let's start on the tremolo. Okay, so that's very much square wave tremolo. Let's push to the next effect, which is flanger, I believe. Go over to phaser. And chorus. I want to get without any copyright infringement there. Funkwa. Let's try that on the clean channel, see what that does. That's a lot of fun to play with. Let's see what's next. Octaver. Sorry, I'm still looking backwards on my camera playback here. I don't know if I'm going to replace my bass player with that one, but that doesn't quite track very well. And I don't think you can play chords with that. It gets all glitchy trying to pick which note in the chord to do, so that's only for single note type stuff. And then rotary speaker is last. So that one might be fun on the clean channel. Okay, that's enough of all that. I'm realizing this video is going to be way too long, but I don't know, there's a lot of features on this little guy. I mean, on the back here, there's also a headphone out, then also a CD input. So my honest impression, I bought this. This thing hits way above its weight class as far as its size. And for being a practice amp, I don't think, if you find one of these, because these pop up on Marketplace and stuff pretty cheap quite often, you know, because people are trying to get rid of their first amps when they're, you know, as they graduate to bigger stuff, or someone just tried guitar at one point and they've had it sit in their closet forever. Will this keep up with the drummer? No. And that's just part of having an 8-inch speaker. But the sound of this 8-inch speaker, this is my first time playing any Blue Marvel era Peavey. That Blue Marvel ain't bad. It ain't bad. One thing I probably will do with this amp is, I don't know if you saw a video I did a few weeks ago on the combo amp extender, which I have in this katana here, but it pretty much allows you to turn any combo amp, especially a small one like this, into a guitar head pretty much. So you can use it with an external speaker. And I have a feeling this will sound pretty killer through a 12-inch speaker. So I may be doing that with this, and I don't know, maybe I'll use it on this channel for pedal demos. You know, because at that point I can use it as with impulse responses to do silent recording. But yeah, once again, I'm blown away by a solid state Peavey amp. I don't know why. It's surprisingly touch responsive with your guitar. Maybe I'll demonstrate that a little more. I don't think I really did a good job of that. So to me, that's a selling point. So let's turn the effects off. Go back to the dirty channel. Let's pick up a little more gain. I don't know if that really demonstrated it there, but yeah, enough of all this. I mean, I'll throw an affiliate link down below. I guess maybe these pop up on eBay and the shipping won't be too expensive. There's some on Reverb. Maybe the shipping won't be too expensive, but like I always said, if you can find any solid state Peavey for less than $100 or $100 or less, go for it. Doesn't matter the size, doesn't matter the age. And you can't go wrong. This video's been way too long. See you next time.